Maybe we should have higher standards then, more strict guidelines for how to do this.
I agree. And as the as the head honcho of this operation, I'd love to hear what ideas you have.
Well, I just mean, it seems like people are just walking all over me here. We show up when we want, we do whatever, I mean, you guys get paid for this, so I expect a little more, out of it.
I mean, maybe that's on you then to, start having a more firm hand about it. You know what I mean? Carry a big stick.
Paid?
You get kicked down further on the priority list I know you have if you're late.
Daniel, can you screen share the Excel spreadsheet you have of most desirable guests on the show?
This is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And someone else.
I'm the last someone else. There's no someone else.
How are we doing someone else?
I am certainly, I'm making it. My family had some big events, which is why I was in Birmingham. Also got to see my boyfriend. Lovely time, and immediately after this podcast, I'm going right to bed.
Okay, that's pretty elite. That's some good stuff.
That's pretty early for you, Chandler. Aren't you more of a night owl?
I mean, I used to be. Certainly, freshman year, I was, but now I have grown to the ripe old age of 22, and I can't do such things anymore.
Owls are also known for going to bed early on their migrations, so that's something to keep in mind as well.
Do owls migrate?
I don't think so. I don't have anything to base that off of, but if I'm gonna bet on it, I'm gonna bet no, they don't.
I feel like they're just too, I don't know. Maybe this is birdist in some way, but I feel like they're too big. If you're gonna migrate, you got to be lean.
Yeah, that's a good point. At the same time, though, there's some species of albatross that spends basically zero time on the ground. They just fly over the ocean for the majority of their lives, and they're huge. I can't remember if they're light, probably relative to their size they are. But I don't know if being a tiny bird means you have to stay in one place. But I don't know. Owls just they have the disposition of a bird that just wants to chill in one place and steal mice on the side,
Yeah, I feel like you don't need to move around all over the place to just snatch a few mice every now and again. Also, all right, something I don't know if this is just me. Have y'all been seeing way more hawks and falcons over the past year than you have while you were at Tech? I feel like when I was at Tech, I didn't see any, despite the fact that I was definitely outside more.
Are you still close to the city and everything?
I'm halfway between Atlanta and Marietta. I'm right on the perimeter.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Atlanta, they say it's the city of trees, so I don't know if it would make that much of a difference if you're leaving the area, but I personally have not noticed an uptick in the amount of birds of prey circling my location. Daniel, how about...
I guess I'm slightly closer to the Chattahoochee and kind of that whole area, so maybe
that's true.
Maybe that's something, but I mean they are all over the place.
Watch out for your cat.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any recently. I see mostly deer up here.
Do you guys have... Oh, sorry, Daniel.
What's up?
Do you guys have the three-eyed fish that the Simpsons have, by the power plant?
Yeah, although they have more than 3 eyes. I'll say that.
We've developed further fish eye technology from just 3, I assume, since The Simpsons aired that episode.
Yeah, geez, that was over 20 years ago, probably. Yeah, there's not really, I don't really see many bird type animals.
Well,
Well,
are you?
hang on. What's a bird type animal?
I was gonna say birds, but I was like, you know what? All kinds. I meant to be more broad with that, but then I realized it was already broad enough.
I mean, bird is already a lot of animals.
Yeah.
Are bees included in bird-like animals?
You know what?
That's why they call it the birds and the bees.
I was gonna say Daniel's. He's starting to talk about the birds and the bees here. I don't know if that's entirely appropriate.
Listen, we've gotten much worse on this show, and you know it.
Yeah, it's always the someone else that does that kind of thing, huh?
True.
Anyway, anyone else have any comments on the birds and the bees?
Just the acknowledgement that they are, in fact, different beings, fundamentally.
Yeah, I agree with Chandler.
Before I forget, because everyone I'm sure because you're listening to this podcast wherever you are, but Anchor has transformed. Okay. It was probably about a year ago that Spotify bought Anchor, and now they've sort of completely overhauled it. So the new URL, are you guys ready? So it's a lot. So the old URL, anchor.fm/the-experience, that'll still work. But the new URL, it gets redirected to the new one, which is podcasters.spotify.com/pod/show/the-experience.
That's like too many slashes for me.
A lot of stuff going.
You're jumping through some directories there.
Yeah. So, but again, the old link, anchor.fm/the-experience, that'll get redirected. So you can still use that. But if you're someone who wants that new link because reasons, or if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you normally listen, that'll still work, obviously. But the new link is technically that if you're interested. For some reason, the Google Podcast link is not working, and I think someone basically stole our RSS feed or did something with it because it's linking to a different Experience podcast. So I'm working.
RSS feed?
Well, that's just basically how the podcast gets run through.
Wild.
It's like stock, I guess I want to say. Like it doesn't. It's just a medium, right? The RSS feed is a medium through Anchor/Spotify, which is a medium, and then it goes through wherever you listen. It's like there's like all these levels. But anyway, I'm working on fixing that. If anyone's wondering.
Okay.
Sure.
For the one singular person that listens to this podcast through Google Podcasts, I'm sure they'll be very grateful when you fix it.
And I honestly didn't know Google had Google Podcasts. But Daniel, I'll also drop the new link in the chat for the users so they can access that right down below. And that is podcast.spotify.com/pods/ there's one more and then it's the experience, but I don't remember. Dang it. I thought I had it.
That's podcasters.spotify.com/pod/show/the-experience.
Okay. It feels weird to be in the middle of what is essentially an ad right now.
It's an ad for the same show. It's an ad for.
Yeah, but still.
Chandler, what do you have? You want to read the ad that you provided or no?
At this point, I think we're already going to gain so much extra revenue from you talking about the very, very long link that you just explained that I don't even think it's necessary. I think we can drop that sponsorship.
I didn't choose it.
I never said you did. It's just
All right, let's calm down here. All right, this is what happened. I don't know. Spotify is revamping things, I guess.
As they often are. Now
I
here's now. All
I
right,
have it up in my browser right now, the link. So
Yeah, there
I
you
have
go.
I have a question for one or both of you. Have you gotten apparently there's some new Spotify update where they've changed the heart icon to like a plus. However, I have updated my app multiple times, like, trying to get this to happen, as well as they've started a new quote unquote DJ feature where like some AI will like talk to you or something as it's playing your songs. I don't know. Something about that. But I can't get it. My boyfriend keeps like saying, "Hey, you should update it. This is cool." And I'm like, "I've tried. It's not there."
I haven't gotten that, or it might be on my Spotify. I haven't really looked around for it because I think I get the automatic updates. I can't go on my phone and also do this at the same time. So I tried to get into Spotify and it kind of kicked me out of this. So I'd much rather be present for this podcast with Daniel and someone else than just on my measly Spotify. But I'm on the browser right now and I still see a heart. So maybe it's not updated on my browser. I heard there's also maybe it's the same thing. It's like sort of like a TikTok-y scroll, like doom scroll thing that Spotify introduced, which is interesting for like full-length songs.
I don't understand. Don't playlists already kind of do that? Like it's like, oh, I'm not interested in this. Skip to the next one. Skip to the next one. I feel like the same kind of like, I don't know, unless they just like. Now this would be a bold piece of new technology. Like just limit each piece, like each fragment of a song to like 20, 30 seconds. You don't actually ever get to listen to the full song. Maybe that's what they do with Spotify Lite next. For anyone who doesn't have premium, just only gets like 20 to 30 seconds. They can only do the TikTok version.
Wow, a TikTok version of Spotify.
I hope TikTok like dies at some point. I don't want TikTok Spotify.
Listen, I'm trying to pull out the bits here.
I was gonna ask Alex, what's wrong with TikTok? I thought you loved it.
No, there's a big, in season 5, big character arc for me that saw me drift away from TikTok. I don't know. It's like too fast. I guess the hype train is rotting your brains thing, but I definitely noticed, like, I mean, I don't have TikTok, but I'm not going to pretend like I don't access similar kind of stuff on, I guess, YouTube or Instagram. It's all kind of, they sort of blended a lot of or they integrated some of TikTok's features into the other apps and stuff. And I can tell a difference with me, like, just my concentration and all that, anecdotally, that I'm like, oh, it feels like my brain is fried. But maybe that's because that's what the articles are saying, and I don't know what's reality anymore. But there was like a 2 or 3 week period where I had it, and I think I was a little more anxious during that period. So I was not a fan.
I mean, certainly I don't think that it's a good thing that people's attention spans are being reduced. If that is, I mean, my question is, how do you like scientifically like determine attention span? I guess like I don't know how. Like it certainly feels that way, and like I kind of anecdotally agree that like I also very briefly had TikTok for a few days, and like even in just that short span, I was like, I don't like what this is doing to me. But I'm just interested. How would you actually like prove that in some sort of, I don't know, scientific context? I don't know how you would observe that other than just I feel bad.
Daniel, you're a leading expert in this field, right? Could you give us some input?
Attention span, certainly something that people have. No, I don't know. I am not a psychologist. That's really more of a Chandler kind of a thing. But there must be a way. Chandler, why don't you look up a good peer-reviewed study?
You know what? I'll do that.
Yeah, pull that up, Jamie.
Why my TikTok is ruining people's lives. I don't know.
Here we go. We've got this is an article by Ping Shah, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that name. Structural equation modeling was established, and SPSS Amos was used for analysis. Cool. Apparently, yes, it does seem to increase depression and anxiety. Attention should also be given to male students who have something. Male students tend to have more memory loss, apparently, from using a lot of TikTok. According to this study.
And that's literally all we need. It confirmed my views, so it's correct.
That's it. The jury data.
The first thing you look for is always right.
Yeah. I always think it's funny when people are like, cite your sources, as if I used more than one. Like, all right, come on.
Like your singular source, the one news article you read 5 years ago.
Skimmed. Man, with my fried brain, I can't even read. Just kidding.
I've been trying to get back into reading. I'm trying to read very simple stuff. Trying to but it's so hard. Even when I'm actively trying to make an effort to read more, it's I sit down for 20 minutes and eventually I'm just I want to get back on my phone again because words are hard.
I can totally relate.
But it's gotten better though. I will say it's slowly but surely I am fixing my brain. Although I think probably the best way to fix everyone's brain is just everyone throw your phone into the ocean.
I think about that sometimes. What if I just put it in water, but then didn't put it in rice? Yep. I had no rice, and it didn't work its magical absorption properties, and my phone died. How bad would that be? There's probably some. I mean, it's definitely good for some things, but part of me is just, the part of you that wants to move to a log cabin in the woods.
Exactly.
It's like that sort of thing.
You desire to just disappear for a while. I would here's the thing, right? I don't want to just evaporate from society, but it seems like it would be at least a little bit beneficial to just I don't know, go be a firewash for 3 months and then come back and achieve enlightenment or something.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like that permanent what if. Daniel, I think it was something that Chandler brought up, and I think is kind of relevant to something we sort of briefly mentioned. People being evaporated from society. I think you could give us some input on who you'd like to see evaporated from society more with your guests of the podcast tier list. I'd love to hear it.
Find the bottom of the tier list. Let's see.
Yeah, well, hang on. First, I would assume that the bottom of the tier list is you would like them to be evaporated from society.
Should we do that? Should we make a tier? One of the tier. What is it called? Tier maker, tier dreamer, tier.
Whatever. Just look it up. The website will.
Yeah. Should we do that for our podcast guests?
Yeah.
Just a live a video episode. Oh God.
Have y'all been, now here's something. Have y'all been getting those, like, if I'm, you know, frying my brain briefly and getting on, Instagram or YouTube, whatever, anywhere where it has like some TikTok-esque technology going on. Do you get those videos of like the AI generated voices of like Donald Trump and Joe Biden like playing Minecraft? You know what I'm talking about? Am I crazy?
No,
Am
I was.
insane?
They're really funny. I was watching one today where it's like Obama, Joe Biden, and Trump creating a rap album's tier list, and it was really funny.
God. But yeah,
Now this is TikTok content, right?
It very much is lends itself towards being short form video. Because the thing is that the joke usually isn't that fun. It isn't funny enough to last more than like 30 seconds before like it's time to move on to something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. Although I've watched a few of those, and it's like it would be as if regular people are playing it, and they get like like decent humor or whatever. But the fact that it's them saying it just makes it 5 times funnier. It's just recent presidents of the United States.
I think another thing is like because they're all it's like theater. It's like pantomime. Like we know what these characters would, what these caricatures we've made of these people would say in our heads in these situations, and it like acts them out. So that's very funny.
Yeah, exactly. Which president would you guys most like to play video games with?
Out of all of them, or out of just like those three?
How about those 3 and then, or I don't know, 4 or whatever. You can throw like Bush in there or something, and then everybody.
I think Obama would probably be the best in terms of like if I actually wanted to win the video game. But in terms of most entertaining, I mean, you gotta say Trump, right? You just want to see what kind of bullshit this dude gets into.
Yeah, he seems like he thrives in like a 2009 Xbox Live environment.
Exactly. In every sense of that, yes.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good choice. Yeah, probably. I think it'd be fun to play with Obama. And then I think it'd probably be pretty fun to play with also an old-timey president like George Washington or something like that, John Adams, those guys, just because it'd be, I don't even know for the video game aspect, more for just like
Trying to get them up to speed with the current Apex Legends meta. I don't know.
A strategy or based game. You could do like a Ulysses S. Grant,
Oh,
There
that's
you
true.
go.
or even a Harry Truman, something like that.
Oh, Dwight Eisenhower would be good. He's the European. Yeah. There's a lot of guys who are generals. Who would be best at Minecraft?
Minecraft?
I think like I don't know if any presidents been engineers. I feel like
Surely at least one of them.
I don't know.
Doesn't Jimmy Carter like still build houses?
Yeah, I guess he does like Habitat for Humanity stuff. Although wait, he didn't die yet, right? But
No, he's not dead yet.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna double check that actually.
Yeah. Let's see if the Wikipedia people have put in was yet.
No, Jimmy Carter's
No,
not dead. You heard it here first, folks. Jimmy Carter is alive.
He is still kicking.
At 98 years old. God damn.
I used the wrong form of there today. That was pretty embarrassing.
Oof. Rookie mistake.
I know.
So Carter did study a little engineering.
Lieutenant in the Navy.
Yeah, but he started in engineering before he went to the Naval Academy.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean we got some like teacher professor.
So I would think it would be Jimmy Carter. I think that I was looking through the list, and I think it's Carter. I mean, maybe Lincoln. You know,
I'm just looking up engineer presidents.
Yeah, I don't think that. I feel like military would probably be because you see a lot of lawyers, of course, like that sort of thing. I feel like business or not business, excuse me, like military people might be a little more adjacent, just like logistics or something.
if you're looking to conquer land, kind of that sort
Yeah,
of thing.
definitely that.
All
Andrew
right,
Jackson for that.
It's kind of like operating a business a little bit.
I've gotten info on. So Herbert Hoover is the only president who worked as an engineer, according to homework.study.com. But according to Quora, Jimmy Carter qualified as a nuclear power engineer. You would know something about this, Daniel, in the submarine service.
That's in the Navy. It's different. Let's see.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just on her. Wait, no, hang on, Daniel. You go first, and then I'll speak.
No, all I'm saying is looks like he did do some nuclear stuff in the Navy. That's it. Go ahead, Alex.
All right. Well, what I did was I looked at Herbert Hoover as you brought him up, Chandler, and I'm on. I think it's list of presidents of the United States by previous experience Wikipedia page. And Herbert Hoover, you know what he has? Businessman and mining engineer.
Wow.
I don't even think you could get better than that. And I'm on Herbert Hoover's Wikipedia article here. It looks like his dad was a blacksmith. He was one of the first graduates of New Stanford University. He took a position with a mining company and rapidly became a wealthy mining engineer. I mean, I don't know if you could get. It's literally in the name. It's called Minecraft. I don't know if you could do better than a mining engineer.
That's just about perfect. Although I don't know if practical real world mining skills would translate as well to Minecraft, but certainly probably better than most other presidents who just are old and
That's true. Yeah, I mean, mining engineering probably isn't all about swinging a pickaxe and that sort of thing.
probably. Well, you said he worked as a blacksmith, right?
I think that was his. It looks like it was his dad.
Oh, okay. Here on the Experience Podcast, where we discuss birds and dead presidents.
Hey, some of them have been alive.
You are correct, Daniel, in that some presidents are alive.
Statistically, most of them are dead as well, so it's okay.
That's true. That'll never catch up.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, unless we get some crazy anti-aging science going on.
Yeah, or just a ton of young presidents.
Yeah, everyone has to be 35.
I will gladly take a 45-year-old president over an 85-year-old president. Bold take. I know.
Yeah, I don't know how well that's going to go over, Chandler.
Most of our audience is over 85, so I don't know about this.
I know that so much of this country is just like we need to get a, what do you call it when you go over 100 years old?
Centenarian or something?
Centenarian. We need more 100-year-olds at the forefront of this country. I want to live every day not knowing if they're going to keel over or not.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, we should just airlift those people that currently hold the Guinness record for oldest person alive and just drop them in the White House and be like, all right, what's up?
What are we doing with the nukes? What are we doing?
Skip. Okay, so well, we've gone for a bit here. What else did you guys want to bring up other than presidents and birds and?
Are they or are they not getting rid of daylight savings time? I don't know.
Big time.
From what I have heard by skimming news articles, it was a bill in Congress, but it died. It did not go anywhere. So they are not, in fact, getting rid of daylight savings. That doesn't mean they won't do it in the future, but for this year, we're still doing, and we did do it. We already jumped. Unless I'm crazy, and we didn't yet.
No, I physically changed my clocks yesterday, so I maybe.
Oh, I gotta change.
Oh, I gotta change my oven, my microwave right now. We're live on camera, folks. I am changing my clock. Oh God, how do I do this?
Daylight savings in action, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope you enjoy the beeping noises of my oven. Push. Here we go.
Hey, you can hear it.
We're good. I'm sure this is great for the listeners.
No, what's great for the listeners is if you guys go to tiermaker.com, kind of the website we were talking about, the tier list thing, and you can go to /create /female cartoon hotties.
Oh, God.
They've got, I mean, it's like a gigantic list. There's got to be close to like 100, 200 people here. There's Flo from Cars. So I don't see Sally, though.
I mean, that's just a little bit too much dedication. I'm going to be honest. That's unfortunate.
It's a lot of freaking people. Cars as well. A lot of beings.
I mean, I'm much more of a like breakfast cereal tier list kind of guy. Which the best breakfast cereal, bar none, is Raisin Bran.
Ooh.
And I will defend that to the death.
Hey, if you need some more troops in your army, Chandler, sign me up, okay?
But it's got to be the name brand Raisin Bran, because if you get the off-brand Raisin Bran,
it's not as good.
It all crumbles. It gets super soft, super quick. It's got to be the real thing. I am a Raisin Bran devotee. Not too sweet, plenty of fiber. Raisins are great. Just 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
What about you, Daniel? What's your favorite breakfast cereal?
I don't really favorite. I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, cause I don't, like, what do I eat normally? Because I think
we're talking like, from a utilitarian standpoint, which cereal gives you the most joy?
Yeah, because what I'm getting at is like, there's that, but then like, you're not going to eat that every day necessarily, right? Because inherently cereal is mostly junk.
I don't completely agree with that notion. Well, all right. So like, sure, if I was to eat like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or like Trix every single day, that would be pretty bad. I think Raisin Bran, I mean, if you look at the nutrition facts, you can see that it's at a bare minimum not nearly as bad as some other cereals out there in terms of nutrition.
Oreos cereal. It's just Oreos as a cereal.
Yeah, like you are eating cookies and milk for breakfast. Which, you know what, to each their own, that's fine. But you certainly can't argue that it's nutritionally complete.
I gotta look up because whenever I go to Walmart, I just have to look because some of them are ridiculous, and I send them to Owen. So let me see if I have pictures of them.
Honey Bunches of Oats and Special K are up there as well. I like me some Special K.
I like Honey Bunches. That's a good input.
Yep.
Oh, Wendy's Frosty cereal.
Whoa.
Wendy's Frosty cereal.
Just go to Wendy's and get a. Do they sell Frosties in the morning? Probably.
I hope not.
I hope.
I know you can get ice cream from McDonald's, at least the one, not because I've gotten ice cream from McDonald's, but because I've gotten breakfast from McDonald's and I see it on the app. They're still selling the ice cream. Are you still investigating, Daniel?
Well, the Frosty is I think the most ridiculous one. Wendy's Frosty cereal.
Where the hell did you find that?
In Walmart here. Like it was there. It's not even hard to find these types of cereals. Just whenever you have a chance, go to a large retail store or food retail and peruse the cereal section. You'll find some crazy things.
I right now could DoorDash to my location a box of Wendy's Frosty breakfast cereal for $6.29 plus all of the fees, of course, which means actually you're paying like $20.
Yeah, the DoorDash fees get out of hand quick.
On one hand, I get it because how else are you going to, pay your workers, which are definitely not employees, anything at all, unless you charge an exorbitant amount for it. But also, come on.
Yeah.
It's like I used to DoorDash so much, and then I realized that, like, unless I'm willing to pay literally double of what I would be paying if I just drove over there myself. So unless I am either exceptionally sick or exceptionally lazy, I do not DoorDash anymore.
That's a good strat. I think food is one of the easiest things to overspend on because you can get it from the grocery store. And I like to think that I mostly reserve going out to eat for, I guess, the really lazy times in my life, but then also just like social things. So I try to keep it at a minimum, but that's my 2 cents there.
Yeah. I mean, probably about, call it once a week, there's this really good Thai place down the road. And I mean, that's just like, Friday night, if you don't have any leftovers, a $10 box of pad Thai that will last you 2 days ain't exactly going to break the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good point.
All right. Well, we're good here.
We are good. Thanks, Daniel. I appreciate that.
We finished up the cereal talk and everything in between.
The guest tier list. I can't wait to see that updated one.
We'll have the guest tier list available when I decide to make it available and when I decide to do it.
Okay.
It'll be linked under each episode from now on, so you can see it as it updates over time.
Yeah.
And actually, in 10 weeks approximately, there will be a vote, and whoever, all you viewers out there, decide to vote off of the show will never be on the Experience podcast again. And in fact, we will go back and delete the videos, the episodes where they were featured before.
We should do that. Who do you not want on the podcast anymore? It's just a lot of change. Okay. So,
have you ever actually gotten negative feedback? I mean, you don't have to say who it is, but have you ever actually gotten someone to be like, why did you have this person on your podcast? You're insane.
No. The quick answer is no. Nothing that direct. I don't think I've had any negative feedback about any guest. And personally, I haven't felt negatively about any guests that I've had on. There have been some that are like friends of friends who like come on and it's kind of, it's maybe not the best, but it's not like negative. I'd never say it was negative.
That's good. That's very good to hear.
That's a USDA, whatever the highest USDA beef. That's the type of host, the highest one. That's the type of host you are, Daniel.
Exactly.